Welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you can probably see from the background, I am back in the shops of Affordable Model Railroads, where I'm working on the large N-scale layout again. I've been out of town for about a week and a half working on an O-scale layout. So of course when I got back into the shop this morning, this N-scale just looks really tiny. I was joking with the other guys about getting a microscope so I could see what I'm doing. Anyway, I've been here for a few hours now. The missing turnouts arrived while I was gone, so I've been able to complete the track laying in the harbour and the intermodal yard. The only track that's still missing are the areas that go across from one room to the other, where if you recall there is a 2-inch height discrepancy. Anyway, one of the other guys is planning on lowering the other section this evening or tomorrow morning, so by the time I get in tomorrow morning I should be able to join those up. For the rest of the afternoon I'm going to start working on some scenery. So let's go around the other side of the layout and show you what I'm up to. When working on a scenic section that includes a water feature, especially one where that water feature involves a bridge, usually that's the best area to start working on. Because the most important rule to remember when designing scenery is that water always flows downhill, taking the line of least resistance. So it pays to get the water areas looking right and then just to fill in everything else with what looks best. And we have a gap in the high level main line here for a bridge. Originally the plan was to have 2 truss bridges, one over the river and one over the logging line. But this is what the guy sent me. I have 1 truss bridge with 2 plate girder approach spans. So it's a slight change of plan, nothing major. I think I'm going to have to put the camera down while I move the bridge. So don't go away, I'll be right back. I've got some more blocks of styrofoam to rest the bridge on. And this needs to go approximately here, so that the piers are nowhere near the track here. The river can be moved a few inches as necessary. And then obviously I'm going to have to cut this track back just a little bit. And where I thought that one pier was going to go here, I'm just going to cut all that away, because this is now going to be low-lying ground. And that will fit quite well. So the next thing I'm going to do is make some piers to stand these on. They'll be temporary piers for the time being. Just get them the right height, and then cut this track back, get it to fit in. And then also I'll have to add track in here to join the ends together. And I think if I get that far today, that will be good progress. So I'm just going to turn the camera off and I will be right back. Well, I have managed to get the bridge installed. It fits there quite well. In fact, I think it might even look better than the original plan with the double trusses. I like this arrangement with the plate girder approach spans on both ends. Well, it's Wednesday morning. I didn't even get the camera out yesterday to make any progress reports. Although we did get a little bit of work done. As you can probably see, this extra section has now been lowered to the correct height. And I've connected all the cross tracks up, so we can now run all the way around the circuit. Also not so noticeable is that I've been round the whole layout and added in all the missing ties at the rail joints. That took quite a bit of time because it's a big layout, and of course it doesn't notice. Today the plan is to go full steam ahead with the scenery on this section here. So I'm just going to turn the camera off and get busy. Well, I am out of time for today. However, I do have most of the blocks stacked up. The customer asked for really high vertical cliffs along this section, so that's what he's getting. In N scale, that is over 150 feet tall at its highest point. I have to run off to Walmart on the way home, and tomorrow morning I should be able to get the rest of these blocks stacked up and start shaping it in the afternoon. Who knows, I may even have some plaster on tomorrow. But I'm just going to sign off now, and I will check in with you again tomorrow. Well, I now have all the blocks stacked up and glued down. We've got the bridge abutments gluing up elsewhere. So when those are done, I will be able to install those and then finish off the foamwork around the riverbed. Next thing to do is to get out the multi-tool and start to carve it to shape. Because even though it's an N-scale layout, there is quite a lot of foam to carve. So I'm just going to get busy, and I will check in with you again later. Well, this is how far I got yesterday. I started at this end, and I'm just gradually working my way down. I've got at least a third of the way done, although there's still a few more areas that I want to go back and cut more foam out. These two where I've marked it with black, and also on this ridge here, I want to cut that back just a little bit. In N scale, this represents quite a long cliff. It's 16 feet long, which is about half a mile, half a scale mile. Anyway, I'm just going to get carving and see how far I get today. I will check in with you again later. Well, I didn't get finished with the carving today. I still have around 4 feet left to go, which puts me at 3/4 of the way there. But I did get some other stuff done as well today. As you've probably noticed, the track is now painted. Before I did that, I test ran a locomotive over every inch of every piece of track, just to make sure it was working properly with no stalling. And also I have got the bridge installed. I had to build the abutments and the piers. I made them by wrapping knock brick sheet around wooden cores and then adding caps from 60 thou styrene. I think they look okay, especially fairly well back in the scene in N scale. And they are very quick and cheap to make. So that's all for this week. I am going to head home for the weekend, and I will check in with you again on Monday morning.